Hey everyone, welcome back to Think with Fink, and boy oh boy, we've got a special episode for you. And the reason being is because I am talking post-recording. And the reason being is because I wasn't happy with how I sounded. Because what I did was I gave my first impressions of After Midnight with Taylor Tomlinson while playing the game, and I couldn't multitask, and it just didn't come out very good. And now it's also been it's been 2 weeks or so I have more thoughts and more impressions of the show. And also, I have notes in front of me, so I'm more well prepared. It's gonna come out a lot better. So yeah, I don't know how long this will be, but I'm not too worried about the timing of things, because I can just edit it. And I kind of mess up again too, so I'm not particularly worried about that. So, Taylor Tomlinson, After Midnight, blah blah blah. So, I said this in my first recording too, was that I'm dumb because I don't read. I thought it was going to be a talk show, but it's not. It's a game show. But there are some, she obviously talks to the guests, and I think the episodes where she talks more to the guests and there's less games, actually, I think those are the better episodes, because there's one episode that I really liked. It was earlier this week. It was with Kelsey Cook, Chad Daniels, who they're dating, and then the AT&T lady, whatever her name is, Milana, I think is her first name. That's what she's known for. But anyways, I thought that episode was really good because Taylor and Kelsey are friends, outside of the show, and then Kelsey and Chad know each other, obviously, because they're dating. So there was a lot more friendliness, and they knew each other, and it was much better rapport. So I thought that episode was my favorite. I think it was the best episode so far. But yeah, I think the main thing, I've noticed this with other shows, is that in theory it makes sense, where you have the funniest person on the show be the guest, or not be the guest, be the host. Because it's well, the host talks the most, because that's what the host does, hosts with the mostest. But when you're the host, your main job is to move the show along and be alright, this is what we gotta do, we gotta make it timely and blah blah blah. And there's not really time for jokes. You can sneak some in, but the purpose of the host is to have the show move along. And I think the reason why you see other talk show hosts or late night shows that are successful is the funniest person is not the host. I think that's why you see Jimmy Fallon and Jimmy Kimmel be so successful, is because they're not funny, and the guest is the funniest person. Because there's been 7 episodes, and I actually have watched, well, I say watched, I'm using air quotes. I have it on in the background, I'll listen in. It is a nice background show for noise, because you can kind of just listen in and then back out for a few minutes and then come back in, and you don't really miss much. So there's that element of the show. I think one So there are games, and I actually think the games are fun. I don't think I've even seen any repeats, except for like the main like staple ones that they do at the beginning, and those are good. But I haven't noticed any repeats, and they're always very exciting and fresh, and there's new like opportunities to make fun of stuff. And I really like that. I think Taylor and her team have some very good writers on it. One thing, and I sympathize a lot with this as an editor, is that the show has you buzz in to give your answer, then you reward points for how funny it was, mainly based on what Taylor thinks is funny, and so like your points are shown on your like screen to show how many points you have. And sometimes, like, I'd say, alright, we have, I don't know, there's 3 guests. Like, one person has, like, 500, another person has 600, and another one has 700. You see that, and then it cuts to Taylor saying something, and then it cuts back to the panelists, and then it's, like, commercial break. And you look at the scoreboard, and it's, like, wildly different. And sometimes it's like someone else is now in the lead. And I get that, where it's like, oh, I have to... You almost can't get it right as an editor. Because you obviously have to cut things out for time. And so it's just, that's kind of an issue. And I feel like, I think what they can do, and I see a little bit of Whose Line in this show, where there's a lot of improv, there are a lot of prompts involved. You gotta think fast. Where I think you kind of need to lean more into like the points don't matter, and they honestly don't as it is. So I don't even know if like having points is even necessary, because I don't know. That's something that I've thought of, but let's see. I kind of covered everything on my notes, but I wonder if there's anything else. Well, alright, so, I'm watching the show for Taylor Tomlinson. Most of the guests I don't know. I knew Paul F. Tompkins. He was on the second episode, and then I knew the AT&T lady, and that's kind of it. Last episode, it was funny because Taylor always announces the guests for the next episode at the end, and she said John Daly, and I was like, wait a minute, the golfer? How did they get him? He's not funny at all. And it was a completely different John Daly. But so a lot of the guests I don't know. I'm watching for Taylor Tomlinson. I think she obviously does make the show better, because I don't think I'd be watching if it wasn't Taylor Tomlinson. Just she's very funny. She's very talented. I think she's very pretty and cute. Anyways, so I don't know. And also it starts at 12:37. That's late. It ends at 1:30-ish. And I don't know. I mean, I stay up so late as it is, but like I'd like to be able to go to sleep earlier. And this is me being such a bizarro guy, is I love seeing the new commercials because I don't watch TV. I don't watch TV much at all. I mainly just watch sports. So seeing all these commercials that air at 12:37 at night into 1:30 is amazing to me, because I think the only commercials besides like the sports ones that I'll see the 3 o'clock to 4 o'clock sometimes, because I'll watch Family Feud with my grandmother sometimes. So I get to see what those commercials are, and then I compare it to what I see after midnight. And it's really funny, because it's like the 3 and 4 ads are for lawyers and like pain medication for old people. And so, and like with like Alzheimer's and dementia and all the brain stuff, they're all scams. Most likely, anyways. But then you compare it to the ones I'm seeing now, and it's all, well, funny enough, it's all medications again, but it's for like the cool hip ones, for the cool hip diseases, like HIV, and like depression. You know, for millennials. Oh, there's a real funny commercial too. Where it's the one for HIV, where it's just one of the scenes is like, it's like 2 gay guys, and they're in like a park, and they're like sitting on the bench, or no, I think they're like sitting on a picnic table, but and they're like cuddling up with each other, and one is clearly not gay. I mean, maybe both of them aren't, but one is clearly not. Just he looks really uncomfortable. It's really funny. I don't know if I'll be able to find it, because I don't even know. To show how much I pay attention, I don't even know what the medication is. Oh, another one I see is for KY, which is that's a sex thing. That one's funny. I also see some like local ads too, which those are always fun. I think those are the best ads, because they're ads that they put zero money into it, and those are the best. I see one. There's like a bathroom installer family. And they've got 2 commercials that they show kind of back to back, which is a little odd. Because it's like, well, you can just have one. I don't know. Anyways, I'm gonna think of something else, and I'll be like, oh, why didn't I think of that? So, final thoughts. It's a good show. It's almost part of my routine now, so I guess that's good. That's good for ratings, but like I'm not really watching it, and I don't know most of the guests either. So, I really like how the reward at the end is like when you win is different every time. It's always very lame. I really like that, because there's one where the first one was like Taylor's father's respect. I think that was the first one, and then they had like a pair of socks. No, it was a 6-pack of socks, and then there was some almonds, an old desk chair. It's silly stuff like that, and I like that. So it's like, who cares if you win? So that's why I kind of think that like the points shouldn't matter as much. Kind of lean more into Who's Line a little bit. And I think the games are fun. But I think you can kind of make them better by having less of them, because the points don't matter. So, and kind of have a little more time to get to know the guests, because I don't know most of them. I mean, maybe people do, and maybe I'm not the best demographic, but I feel like a lot of these guys are like C-list at best, which is fine. they're just starting out. So I don't know. I think it's a fun show. I hope it lasts because I think Taylor deserves it. So, final thoughts. I think I've already said that twice now, but ranking. Obviously, best episode, Chelsea Cook, Chad Daniels. I always want to say Brad Daniels. Who is Brad Daniels? I mean, Chad and Brad are similar names. I'm looking this up. Is there a Brad Daniels? No, there isn't. I mean, obviously there is some guy named Brad Daniels. No, I think it's just me thinking Brad is a more normal name than Chad. Anyways, Chelsea Cook, Chad Daniels, AT&T lady. I'm gonna look up her name because I feel bad. AT&T. Oops, hold on. The actress. Yeah, Milana. Well, that's her first name. Vaintrub. She's from Uzbekistan. I know, she's kind of stuck. She's AT&T lady now. She can't do anything else. She's kind of like, and he has branched out and done other things, but John Krasinski, I can only think of him as Jim from The Office. And he's done a whole bunch of other stuff since, but he's just Jim to me. And like you kind of feel bad to say, oh, you want to see them in different roles, you want them to be good because they're good at what they do, but they're kind of stuck at that because they're so iconic in that role. That's the best episode. I think that kind of gives you the best. Like, this is what I'd like every episode to be like that, and I think it can. If there's just a little, if they take 3 games out and put, and in that time slot, you put in getting to know the guests more. And there was, in the second episode, I think with Paul F. Tompkins and the 2 other people that were on it, I don't know. There was a part where you could give points to like plug your merch, or not your merch, but just your stuff. And I thought that was really good, but I haven't seen them do that again. I think they should do that more, because I like to know who the guests are. I like to know what Taylor thinks of them too, because it's like, well, they want to be friends, obviously, for the show, but you want to see what they really are. If there's some hot goss or drama going on, because that's always fun. Jesus Christ. Final thoughts, part 11 at this point. I give the show like an 8 out of 10. And I think if you took Taylor Tomlinson out, I probably wouldn't watch it. But this is the big one, is that if you told me the show, if I watched the show and Taylor Tomlinson like wasn't in it, I think the show was cool. So I guess that's good. But the whole reason and purpose for watching is because I want to see Taylor Tomlinson succeed and do well, because she deserves it. She's had a rough going as a kid, so, and she's really cute. So I think that's it. I talked for I started the recording earlier, so I probably talked for like 18 minutes about this show. That's pretty good. Now I talked about this at the beginning but I don't remember exactly what I said. So, the timing of how long this takes doesn't really matter, because I need to edit a lot. Because, I have to speed things up. Because, I mean, who knows, this may even be on the screen at this point. So, I don't know. Now I think we're back to past me. Because this was future me. Now we're going back to the past. I don't know how that's gonna work. So we'll see how it goes. Bye-bye, everybody.